Okay, ladies and gents, welcome back. Now, engine is running, just warming it up. We're going to begin our flight in a moment, but I've got a couple of things to run through very quickly based on some feedback I received. So, like I said, very quickly. First thing, the travelog file that's in the description has now changed. The actual travelog has changed to make it a little bit easier for those people who are viewing and following. It doesn't have all the same information that it has in the full travelog that I'm using. So I've updated the descriptions on all the videos, and this one is obviously changed as well. Next thing is the video titles. So I've changed them slightly just to include the leg to make it easier to follow exactly where we are. And the final thing is to do with the REP package. Now, REP is Romeo Echo Papa. It stands for Reality Expansion Pack, and it's by Simcoders. It basically lets you have a better flight model and also gives you all of the cool sort of maintenance and weights and things like that. So it's very nice. This is the default Laminar Research Cessna C172, which I have put the REP package on top of. There's another one for the default Beechcraft Baron 58, and then a couple of other packs for different things like Caronado aircraft and things like that. Okay, that's that stuff out of the way. Next thing, today we are flying from Bravo India Bravo Alpha, which is Bakki Airport, to Bravo India Foxtrot Mike, which I think is not pronounced like this, but let's try it anyway. Fagurholsmyri Airport. So if you look at the lovely chart, you can see that if we were to take a sort of straight line, we would basically just fly over the top of the bay. What we're actually going to do is follow the coast around, because that's going to be a bit nicer. Winds at the moment, 350 at 7, altimeter is 3012, that's already set. Not that, I want the airport, thank you. Runway 30 is going to be the best for takeoff. That is not this one, it's that one down there. However, I'm going to take off on runway 12 because I can, and because it makes things easier for lining up. So that's what we're going to do. Now let's go and check our temps. Pressure's good, temperature is still rising, excellent. Right, now there was also another issue, which is that I blew the cylinders on this plane. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. I did not have the correct pressure, and we just blew the cylinders and the oil pump completely. So I've had to actually, oops, yeah, I can't show you that. I've had to reset the economy system, which removes all the damage. When I did that, I also lost all the money we earned. And what I've done is I've changed the oil type to SAE, that's Sierra Alpha Echo 30. It was at 50. 50 is good for warm countries. Iceland is not that warm, so I think it's probably better to do it with the medium. We're not in very cold climate because it is summer, so we don't have to worry too much. So, temperature's looking good. Everything here is looking good. I did do the walk around, by the way, before I actually started. I'm not completely crazy. Let's just get those flaps up. And then I think we can begin our taxi. So it is very unfortunate that I couldn't keep the same economy all the way through. I would have really liked to do that. But as I said, it just wasn't really possible, because I did have to reset. Come on, girl. Slow yourself. And parking brake is on. Okay, I think we're good to go. Let's just have one last check of everything here. Temperature green, pressure green. VAC, that will come up to green. It's just about in the green arc, but it will rise as we start flying. That's a bit of a weird texture there. Amps, we're not losing power, so that's good. What is the outside air temperature today? 9. Okay. Fuel flow is low, as expected. Fuel is good. Okay, I think we are now ready to go. So, it's 1500 RPM. Release the parking brakes and full power. Airspeed alive. Oh, we are drifting very, very badly here. Come on, come on, come on. And rotate. Whoa. That was like a rocket. I'm not quite sure what happened there. So. Let's get the pitch controlling. So I've reset my hat switch to actually be a pitch controller. However, I'm not that familiar with controlling pitch in this way. I am trying to get used to it still. This seems to be okay though. Alright, good. So we'll just continue like this for now. Let's have a quick check outside, see how lovely it looks. Now, I did about half of this flight already before realising how bad it was, the recording. So I do know that there are going to be some really awful looking tiles on the way. So please excuse those. I have started fixing them. It's just, there's a lot of them to fix. Oops. Now, the only thing I need to do is I want to get out over the water so we can see the coastline down in that bottom left corner by there, just here. Or ahead of us. Either one would be good. Today we're going to climb to 3,000 feet, 3,500 feet. That will be adequate for us. We don't need to be doing anything more really. Currently 5 degrees. Probably put the pitot heater on. And those aren't simulated, okay. So we don't need to worry about those. Flight time today will be around 50 minutes, however I am not expecting you guys to hang in there for the entire time. I will time-lapse it. I was actually told by my partner that the previous video was a little bit too long. It was quite a long flight, I have to admit, so I was a bit limited in terms of what I could do. I didn't want to cut loads of it out because there was lots of interesting stuff in there. Nice sightseeing, things like that, such as this, which, you know, if that ortho tile looked better, would be a beautiful, beautiful shot. fact, now that that ortho tile is out of view, boom, screenshot taken. Nice. And we're coming up to 3,500 feet. So we're going to put the heading mode on now. Pitch is still being handled by me until now. So now we hand over pitch control to the autopilot, and yeah, we're just going to continue flying. There we go. That should be fine. That just keeps our fuel flow in the green area. So this is nice. Right, 44 minutes at our current speed. Now I can't show you one there, but I can show you one here. So we're going to fly around here, then up there, and then BIFM is basically around here. So that's going to be the route. I am going to put us onto an outside view, and you can admire the scenery, and I will jump back in a short while just to give you some information about our journey today. Okay, so as you've noticed, we need a little bit of a course correction. So let's turn back to heading 090 for now. And then I am going to give you some more facts. I did say I would try to give a couple of facts each day, each flight. And that is what I aim to do. So, today's facts. Uridafoss waterfall. Uridafoss waterfall is a waterfall in Pjósa River. Pjósa is Iceland's longest river at 230 kilometers, and Uridafoss is the most voluminous waterfall in the country. The mighty river drops down 360 cubic meters per second by the edge of the Pjósahraun lava field. The lava field is the result of the greatest lava flow on Earth since the Ice Age. There we go. Now, I mentioned last time that there is also, if I can find the name, Thingvellir National Park. Thingvellir National Park has an old church. Beside the church is the national burial ground. In the same area, there is Thingvellir, which is the largest lake at 83 square kilometers, 32 square miles. It's over 100 meters deep, and the only outflow from the lake is the River Zog, a famous salmon river with beautiful water. The lake's catchment area is 90% underground, and the water from the thousands of cold springs gives it a constant temperature of 3 to 4 degrees the entire year round. There we go. The lake is part of the Thingvellir National Park. The volcanic origin of the islands in the lake is clearly visible. The fissures around it indicate that here the tectonic plates of Europe and the Americas are in conflict. In this lake, the large quantity of sulfur and salt means that the lake is extremely light, and the water seems to be less weight than other lakes. So there we go. There's a couple more facts for today. Now, if we just have a quick look at this, we are currently almost 20 nautical miles off track, but that's because we're not following a track today, so that's not a problem. We are somewhere over there. There is our landing spot. just going to turn back in so we can get a bit closer to the coast. Oil temperature has, well, it's dropped, but not by much. I think it's okay. We've got the pitot heat on already, yeah, so that's good. We're just going to bring ourselves back in towards the coastline a bit. You can see we've still got a fair way to go before we actually what's it called? Before we actually reach the airport. Got some nice mountainous areas over there, always nice to see. And on this side, of course, we've got a nice sea. Yeah, not much to see out of that way. And this view is probably best saved for landing. So, okay, I think we'll go back here. And yeah, we'll just continue for now. You might notice me pop into the cockpit every now and again just to, you know, change the course. But don't worry about that. I will just be correcting the course to try and get us to follow the coast better. So see you in a moment. And please do enjoy the beautiful, beautiful surroundings of Iceland. Okay then, ladies and gents, we have around 29 nautical miles to go, which is about 16 minutes. We can probably now, yes we can, look at this route. We went out a little bit far, but we didn't do too badly. BIFM, so let's check. Wind is not bad, altimeter is 3018. So I think we should probably dial that in now, so that we're ready. So 112, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go, nice. So we're just going to continue like this for a little while, until we get to around about 15, 12 nautical miles, and then we'll start descending. So we are now a little closer to our destination. 21 nautical miles to go, which means we should soon, not just yet, but we should soon be able to see the runway. It will be over there somewhere in the yonder. We're just turning back in towards the mainland. You will have noticed I corrected twice. So as we get closer, we'll be able to start our descent. We want to make sure that we're coming in at a good altitude, because when I did this before, I came in a little bit too hot and we overshot the runway. The last landing was much better, but the landing before, yeah, we overshot completely, and I don't want to do that really. So I'd like to give us enough time to do it really. At this ground speed, we should be able to descend at around about, rule of 300 feet per minute. I'm actually going to go down at 500 to make sure that we have enough time to get the flaps down and all that kind of stuff. Now what's that down there? Is that a runway? Looks like one. But it isn't. Oh look! To the left of us, don't know if we can see it. To the left of us is a flock of birds. I cannot see them though, but we should keep an eye on them. Oh no, it's just one bird. What is that, a gull? That's a flock of birds. That's a gull? I don't know. Not quite sure. It looks like we're on a good heading at the moment though, for the airport. And look, just out of the cloud, out of the mist in front of us, we can suddenly see a bit of a mountain. Just take a look out front. Wow, that is stunning. I believe we're going to be a bit closer to that when we actually come down to the airport, so that'll be nice. Nice for us to see. And I think we're going to start our descent now. Just at 300 feet per minute for now. Nice and gently. So we can keep the speed up at this rate as well. We don't need to worry about slowing down. We can have a quick check as well. What's the fuel price going to be at BIFM? 8.45. Okay, that's alright. We can fill up again there, because the next leg is going to be a fairly long leg. The cross-country leg is going to be even worse, to be honest. We may even have to have a pit stop for refueling. I'm not sure. Haven't quite worked it out yet. Need to do some real planning for that route to make sure that we don't run out of fuel halfway along. We are 15 nautical miles out. Coming down gently, so this is good. About 8 minutes remaining. Now, let me know what you think about the format I've used in the last 2 videos. Of course, the first video I was pretty much able to just talk my way through the entire thing. But when the flights are a bit longer, it becomes more difficult, so I have had to use the time lapses with the background music. Some people have liked it, but let me know what you think. It's something you think I should continue or not, really. And now that we're approaching the 12 nautical mile mark, I'm going to drop this down to 500. Again, I won't change the fuel. Outside air temperature is picking up though, which is nice. And there's a horrible bit of tile there. Not good at all. Now, we should be able, in this mist, to see a runway. As of yet, I do not see anything. But visibility, well, it says visibility is 10. Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty difficult to see. Now we need to turn onto a heading of 090. That should correct our course nicely. Or almost, you can see here. Pretty much spot on target. It's going to make life easier if there's less corrections to do. So it should be over here. But I can't make it out, not yet. But the altitude's looking good, we're coming down. Which will give us plenty of time to manage the flaps. I want to make sure we come in nice and slow so that I don't overshoot the runway again. It's gotten to be a bit of a bad habit recently that I keep overshooting. So the runway is still not in sight. But now is the time for us to turn to a heading of 090. Okay. So we should, very soon, be able to see the runway. That's the hope. think it's that over there. Just going to an outside view. Yeah, I think it's that. So we're going to level off here. We don't want to be too low. Too low is not good. So we'll just let the aircraft settle. And now we can pull ourselves back. Get ourselves to the 2000 RPM mark. And let the speed drop. And we can now put out our first set of flaps. And we'll just let the autopilot control the pitch for a moment. Yes, that is the runway. Okay, so we are off course slightly. We need a bit of a correction. But that's fine because we are slowing, so we've got plenty of time to actually do some corrections. So we're down to full, which means we're going to need to put the RPM back up again. Right, that's good. That's a good speed. And let's correct. We've got plenty of time to do this. No need to rush. Coming in low and slow. So all we want to do is get ourselves lined up for that runway, really. We're 4 miles out. This is good. Ground speed of around 80 knots, airspeed of 75. And just release gently, gently. There we go. We are now spot on, basically. Let the aircraft back on track a little. In fact, we're now off course slightly. And I think now is the time to disengage autopilot. So we'll start coming down. As usual, please do excuse the horrific squeaking noise that comes from my joystick. I'm just going to bring the RPM back because we are starting to pick up speed as we descend. But we're coming in okay at the moment. Could have done this with pitch trim really, but doing it manually. I think we're coming in too high. Yes, we are. So we're not going to attempt this. We're going to put him back onto heading mode and we're going to put him onto altitude. And we will just hold this altitude. No need to change really. Just Just want to make sure we're on the right heading for the runway though. That will help us afterwards. Of course I do now need to give a little bit more power. There we go. Okay, so that is a heading of 85 roughly. So let's pull what do we need to do? 90. There we go. Speed's a little high, so we'll just drop that down. And we can, of course, have a look out of here. There's the runway there. So the passengers have got a nice view of it. And we'll turn again. There we go. And so we should now be, can't see because we're still banking, but we should now be roughly parallel. So a quick check, can we see it? There it is, there's the runway. Oh, interesting. Oh, because I hit the pitch trim value. Whoops. Just gonna fly out for a minute. Of course, this is always the fun of not doing approaches correctly. Not being at the correct altitude, and therefore you're going around for no reason. This could have been easily avoided, but yeah, it's my fault. However, that is a spectacular view. So let me just spin round, pull out. There we go, look at that. That is truly beautiful. Absolutely incredible. We are out over the sand beaches, so how are we doing? I think we've probably extended far enough now. So let's turn again. Heading of 355. Okay. And this should bring us nicely to where we need to be. We should, I think, I want a screenshot of that actually. Anyway, enough messing. Let's have a look at what the passengers can see. Can they see the runway? They can, yes. So we need to slow. Just slow ourselves down. And yeah, I think now probably start making our turn. So we'll set the heading bug to 85. That's a bit of manual control there for me. And now, whoa, that didn't go so well. Let's try this again. Like I said, we are slower. We are also lower. However, this girl still wants to pick up speed. I think that's my issue. I think I'm coming in too fast, so I'm struggling to get the descent correct. I should probably read the manual a bit more. What I don't want to do, though, of course, is come in too slow and crash. But this is looking better. Of course, this is a gravel runway again. Whoa, 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 weather update. Not good. Come on. Come on. Come on, girl. Down we come. Down we come. Nice and gently. And we got a bounce. And we're off the runway. Brakes. Okay. How far did we overshoot this time? You know what? That's not as bad as last time. There we go. Just got the warning about the spark plugs. So, I have already been to this airport to check out the airport itself, and I know there's not actually anywhere to park. I have no idea what X-Plane is going to offer me when I try to load up at this airport. But there we go. Turn the pitot heat off now. No need for that. I do hate these gravel runways. You need a lot more, a lot more brake to actually get things back to get the plane slowed, which of course makes sense. But I guess I should come in even slower than I actually am. So there we go. We are now parked on the runway. We can set the parking brake. There it is. We'll have to leave all the lights on for now, but we can the avionics off, the alternator off, and we can shut down. To pull that back out, throttle back, beacons off. Now we can turn these off. Shouldn't really, because we're still parked on the runway, but there we go. Battery off, nav off. Okay, let's assess. Have we got any damage? No, we're looking okay. And we earned 229, which almost covers the cost of the oil change that I did, because I put in SAE 30. It was 50. So there we go, ladies and gents. That is us down. Not a particularly great landing, but better than it would have been if I'd have tried the first attempt. Thank you very much for joining, and I will see you again soon for another leg. Next time it will be a little bit longer. and please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.